Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida on September 26, 2024 as a Category 4 hurricane. As it moved northward, it stalled out over western North Carolina and dropped 16.5 inches of rain in Boone, North Carolina. This was the most rainfall ever recorded there over a 3-day period. As we traveled around Boone, you could just see the debris and the devastation. It was heartbreaking. All these images of people's belongings outside, bridges that were totally washed away. This one repaired just as we had come into town. So Don and I put the word out. Our Linesville First Baptist Church and this Linesville community in just 2 days sent us all these donations. We had found out they needed food and laundry detergent and winter clothes and blankets. And so we got to pack the camper up. We packed up our tow car. Dawn said as she looked at it, "My goodness, it looks like we're major hoarders here," but it was a blessing. But when we got into this area and we saw this just devastation, our hearts really went out to these folks. We had called down before going and asked, what could we bring? They said no water. They had already had plenty of water. This was about 3 weeks after the event when Dawn and I were there. So they had already had a lot of the cleanup underway. Again, just the debris piled outside of people's houses. Heartbreaking. We traveled down and we stopped at the Rutherwood Baptist Church. This is Pastor Tim, and he had told us before we went down that they were in need of some food items, but laundry detergent was a big one. And this as well, the hospitality house. We had stopped there and we dropped off all of our winter goods. We dropped off our food items there at the Rutherwood Baptist Church. Here you can see this is the hospitality house, and they were collecting food items and blankets and clothing for winter. Dawn and I ended up being able to spend half day there helping them out. Families were able to come through the hospitality house and simply shop at no charge. They could resupply those items that they lost or were in great need of. And it seemed that as fast as things went out, more came in. It was hard to keep it organized. And what a blessing that is. And then the next day we showed up to help Samaritan's Purse. We spent about a week in the area with Samaritan's Purse. That first day that we arrived on that Saturday, those images showed they had about 900 people that volunteered that first day. And we went out and helped, but you just can't imagine the amount of devastation. The roads that were washed out. It took them days just to get into some of these areas. In fact, some of the roads were still not open as Dawn and I were there and traveling. This road was entirely washed out. They were just fixing it and repairing it to the point that you could cross it. This was one of the areas we had to get into to help folks out. The vast majority of the repair work was done by volunteers and independent contractors who just stepped up and said, we want to help. We saw very few government officials there. So we did a lot of work on roofs with Samaritan's Purse. We did a lot of clearing of debris. I cannot say enough about Samaritan's Purse. They are a fantastic, Christ-centered organization and very organized, very impressive. The houses like this, where trees were falling on the roof, Samaritan's Purse sends out crews. We were able to remove that debris, do some patchwork on the roof, get them by, sealing up that roof until they could get a roofer in to do the permanent repairs. But all of these different sites, every person so grateful for us being able to come in and work, clearing out the debris. Some of the stories here are heartbreaking. This location, this family, in their house, in the storm, the tree comes down trees fall on their house. They end up having to evacuate. They leave their house, move up onto higher ground at their parents'. The next day they walk down about a 2-mile walk to get back to their house, only to find that their entire house and all their belongings had been swept away by this raging river. This group was also there, the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief Group. We made some great friends and fellowship with them. As so many people came into this area to help out, you could just tell that the Spirit of God was drawing them just to help. This location, beautiful setting. The road washed out to their house, so we ended up having to drive about 1.5 miles through the neighbor's pasture in order to get in and help them clear some of the debris, do some of the repair work on their house, and simply be there to be an emotional support as we were at every location. People are the most important. This car came from 4 houses upstream, about 0.2 of a mile. The incredible force of this creek that turns into a river is amazing. It just wipes out everything in its path. Totally changed this farm's landscape. The best part of every day in working with Samaritan's Purse is when you get to stop at the end of the work site and you get to pray with the people who are there, spend time with them, and present them with a Bible. Everything Samaritan's Purse does is Christ-centered. And so we pray that in our help there, that the folks would be truly blessed, that they could truly have experienced Christ's hands and feet on the site, lifting them up and caring for them. I have to give a big shout out to the people of that area. They were so helpful and they were so friendly and so grateful. This KOA was just another example of that. They gave us a discounted rate because we were there working. But listen, if your GPS wants to take you up this Brookshire Road, do not take it in your RV. It is not RV friendly, and a large RV will not make it through there. Instead, go 421 to 194 north. Another thing that you have to do, though, if you go into this Boone area, is check out this Grandfather Mountain. It is crazy. This swinging bridge is one of the largest in the nation. It's 1 mile high. It is awesome to experience. So if you can get there and check out that region, there's so much to offer. You can check out my link. I'm going to do a full video on Grandfather Mountain, our stay there. But there's so many things to see in this area. So come and help them rebuild, restore the area, and enjoy the beauty and the majesty that this region offers. And may God bless your day. Thanks for watching.